Arizona Republican Senate candidate Blake Masters joined gubernatorial nominee Kari Lake's America First rally on Thursday. Masters, who is currently running against current Senator and former astronaut Mark Kelly, vowed to, quote, send him back to space. Masters also took aim at Lake's opponent, Katie Hobbs, for refusing to debate. Recent polling has shown Masters trailing Kelly, often by as little as 2 points. With the balance of power in the Senate potentially resting on the results of the Arizona election, Masters is seeking to tie himself to Lake and avoid losing due to split ticket voting.
Hey, are you guys ready to send Mark Kelly back to space next week? Bye-bye, there he goes. I think they're freaking out. You know, I've caught him in the polls. I've seen so many polls now that have me tied with Mark Kelly. I'm beginning to wonder if the pollsters, they're all scared to be the first one to show me in the lead. But that's fine. I like being the underdog. Look, we need a red wave badly, right? We need Republican up and down. I think we're looking at a statewide sweep here with this energy that we're seeing. And my guess is y'all are pretty excited about Governor Kari Lake. She's fantastic. You know, my only complaint about the way that race is going is we don't get to see Katie Hobbs debate Kari Lake. She's just a little bit too much of a coward to face Kari Lake on the debate stage. Although, I think we can understand why, right? Katie Hobbs, not the smartest person in the world. However, she's at least clever enough to know what Kari Lake would do to her on the debate stage, right? Ooh, it would be a spectacle. Katie Hobbs refuses to debate Kari Lake, although at this point, I think Senator Mark Kelly is wishing that he refused to debate me. I had fun debating him. We put him on the ropes, but he had the hard task of defending his record. It's indefensible. So, of course, he was going to struggle. And his campaign is struggling. He and Katie Hobbs both, they're floundering, right? How sad was it that they had to drag former President Obama out of retirement? They had to dust him off and bring him to Arizona. Please, sir, come help invigorate our floundering campaigns. But, you know, Obama, hey, look, they almost filled up a high school gymnasium. Almost. A lot of energy in that room, right? When President Trump comes to rally with me and Kari and the team here, man, we do it in an open field, and it's just Arizonans as far as the eye can see. But hey, it's you guys. But you know, Obama's presence there was really a giant distraction. A distraction from who wasn't there. Who doesn't come out to campaign with the candidates? Joe Biden. They shipped, and I understand why. I understand why Mark Kelly's trying to put distance between himself and Joe Biden. It's strange because he spent the last 2 years rubber stamping Biden's agenda in D.C. But again, he's clever enough to know how unpopular Biden is. They ship Biden off to Florida, states where they can't possibly win, make him think like he's doing something. It's really sad, right? But what Biden and Mark Kelly have done to this country, man, it just boils my blood. Does it feel like the Democrats are doing this to us on purpose? Look at what they did to our border. It would be bad enough if Mark Kelly and Joe Biden were trying hard but failing to secure our border. That would be costly enough. Well, friends, they're not even trying. They surrendered. They surrendered our sovereignty to the Mexican narco-terrorist drug cartels. They did it on purpose. You know what the cartel's profits were in 2018 from human smuggling? Not quite. $500 million. Still too much? Guess what it is now after 2 years of Joe Biden and Mark Kelly's policies? $13 billion. That's a 2,600% increase. Mark Kelly and Joe, I'll tell you what, if the Mexican drug cartel terrorists, if they could vote in this Senate election, hopefully they're not. Assuming they're not, tell you what, if they could vote, 100% of them would vote for Mark Kelly. Because in Senator Kelly, they have a good business partner. He gives them everything they want. Our border has been eviscerated under Joe Biden and Mark Kelly. Mark Kelly could have put a stop to it. He was the 50th vote in the Senate. But he said, nope, open borders, that's totally fine with him. So we have 300,000 illegals crossing our border every single month. Joe Biden and Mark Kelly have helped the Mexican drug cartel traffic more than 4.5 million human beings into our country in the last 20 months. And the fentanyl that's coming in, it's killing our kids. I've suggested, I think Senator Kelly should have to attend some funerals. Maybe that would give him a greater appreciation for the consequences of his open borders policies. When I first said that, some people in the media said, Blake, that's too harsh. Do you think that's too harsh? I don't think it's harsh enough. Let him look a grieving mother in the eye and explain to her why he couldn't be bothered to lift a finger to give us border security. Of course, I wish that were the only crisis the Democrats in charge have caused. They've also destroyed the economy. Again, we don't have time to go through it all, but man, they surrendered our energy independence. Well, when they made energy too expensive, just by declaring war on oil and gas, they made everything too expensive. Every product you need to live takes energy to make and to move. So that causes inflation. Well, you know what else causes inflation? Printing and spending $6 trillion in the last 20 months. It's just crazy what they've done. I feel myself being depressing here. Sorry about that. But I'm also just being honest. Our backs are against the wall. If we don't play our cards right here, we are 5 days away from losing this country forever. But guess what? We're also 5 days away from winning it back. What do you think? I want to thank you all for being the red wave. Thank you for being the grassroots army. Get out there and vote. Who's already voted? Excellent. That's about maybe half. Who's waiting till Election Day? And they say the red wave is dead. No, my friends, it is not. So drag your friends to the polls. Let's get Mark Fincham in there. Let's get Abe Hamadeh in there. Let's get Kelly Cooper in there. Send me to the U.S. Senate. We're going to retire Mark Kelly. I promise you, I will always work hard and fight for you. I will fight for Arizona families. You know who else is going to fight for Arizona families? Your next governor, Kari Lake. Ladies, she's coming. She's not here yet. You messed with my flow. It was going to be so good. The handoff was going to be so good. How much time do we have? Should I tell some stand-up or comedy, you know? Hey, let's take a few questions until Kari's ready to come out. Who's got some questions here? Yes, sir. Are you guys getting tired of the federal government sending Ukraine $10 or $12 billion every 6 weeks? I really am. You know, first it's a question of prioritization. Why can Mark Kelly find $50 billion to secure Ukraine's border with Russia, but he can't find $10 billion to secure our own border with Mexico? Also, of course, I worry that Biden is just sleepwalking, stumbling. He's like a zombie, stumbling us closer to nuclear war. Guess what you didn't have to really worry about under President Trump? Nuclear war. My gosh, all that Biden's just trotting this out casually. It's really scary. I think any intervention in Ukraine should be narrowly tailored to get Russia and Ukraine to the negotiating table, right? We should all pray for an end to that war. But if we just pour oxygen on the fire, and remember when Rand Paul just wanted a spreadsheet? He's like, hey, if we're going to send this money, I guess I can't stop you, but can we get a spreadsheet to see where it goes? Can we get an inspector general to make sure we're not fueling corruption or paying off people or somehow getting us further enmeshed in conflict? No, the establishment shut that down. So I have very serious reservations about Biden's policy here, and I'm going to be a voice